Hey guys, I'm Sean Owens, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install a wall mount for your TV. Alright, so the first thing that we have to do is figure out where the TV is actually going. So in my case, right now it's sitting on a dresser. I want it to be mounted 12 inches higher than where the top of the dresser is. So I will mark that out right now, and we'll get rid of this and get started. Alright, next we have to find the center mark on the wall. And then before we move this dresser out, we want to mark 12 inches up, and the whole TV height is 28, so we'll make that top mark as well. So our overall size is 73 1/4, which means that is 36 5/8. Always double check it. 36 5/8. Then we want to do our 12-inch mark, a 28-inch TV. Perfect. All right, now we're going to get the dresser out of here and then start mounting the hardware on the TV. All right, so when you first start unpacking everything, it looks like a nightmare, but it's really not that bad. You have your directions. This is your template for the mount. This is your frame. The part that looks pretty dramatic are all the screws that it comes with. You're not going to need them all. It just makes it compatible with the other TV models. So I'm going to start unpacking all this and seeing what hardware works with my specific TV, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I have the hardware on here now. For this particular mount, it was just 2 horizontal brackets and then 1 vertical one. So what I'm going to do now is put everything together how it's going to go up on the wall. So for mine, this mount right here goes here, connects there. It's a full range one, so that's why there's just a lot of stuff going on. So once that's on there like this is the section that actually mounts onto the wall. It goes on just like this. So since we have this setup visible right now, what we're going to do is take a measurement from the bottom of the bracket to the bottom of the TV. So I have 7 inches, so that mark that we made before, where the bottom of the TV should be, we're going to go 7 inches up from that mark, and that's going to be the bottom of this mount right here. Just a side note, when you install whatever hardware that you need to on the back of the TV, never screw the bolts in with a drill. Always use a Phillips screwdriver and just do it by hand so you can actually feel the tension and then make sure that it's on there really well. So a drill will most likely just damage the TV, but it's just, you know, not worth taking the risk. Also too, when you take the feet off of the TV, if it was sitting on a dresser or, you know, another object, take the screws out. And what I do, you know, put the feet in a, you know, different section, put them in a bag or something, but the screws I actually put right back into the TV, just in case if you ever want to add the feet on again, you're not going to have the screws floating around. They're going to be right there on the TV waiting to put the feet back on. Alright, so what we have to do next is find the studs in our wall. So I'm just going to use the stud finder. You've never used these before. You put it flat against the wall, hold the power button, and just move it over until you hear it beep. So it looks like they're a little far apart. All right, so this is an older house. So what they did was they framed 24-inch on center instead of 16. So what I'm gonna do now is do something a little different. I'm gonna actually cut a piece of plywood that goes over here. We'll end on the other sides of the studs. We will screw the piece of plywood in, and then we have a full piece of wood to mount our bracket. So it's one of those things. It's, you know, it happens. I'm glad that it happened on the video. there's always complications. Normally they are 16-inch on center, but you know, you may get either if it's not framed properly or if it's an older house, they may be a little different. So normally you would just find the studs, screw them right in, and you're all set. But in this case, we have one more step, but it is what it is. All right, so we're about ready to mount the plywood. What I do have to do, since we found the studs with the stud finder, it told me where the center was, but you shouldn't always just blindly trust it. What I like to do, it's all behind the TV. I want to drill a couple holes to see exactly where it is, because when you put that lag in, you don't want it to be caught on like the edge of the stud. You want it to be directly in the center. So what I'm gonna do, drill right where your mark is. All right, there's a stud there. Go a little bit to the right. It's good. And then a little bit to the left. Perfect. So this is directly in the center. So we're good to go with that one. We'll do the same thing over here. That's good. That one's good. Perfect. All right, so both of these marks are right in the center, so the stud finder did a good job. It's always good to check though, and you know, just so you're not, you know, catching the edge of the stud. All right, so we're gonna go back to the mark that we did before. So this is the bottom of where the TV is gonna be. Up from there, we have 7 inches, so that's where the bottom of the bracket is. Since we have to do the plywood first on here, I just wanna go a little bit lower. So we'll go 5-6 inches up, somewhere right around there. That's where the plywood is gonna be. I'm just going to extend these stud marks up so we can see them once the plywood's on. Alright, what we're gonna do now is, there's our mark for the plywood. As long as, yeah, so as long as these guys are good here, we have that, and there and there. Level this guy. We definitely hit the stud on that one. You can just hear the difference. When you miss, it's very noticeable. So that definitely sounded like it went in. Especially when it struggles that much to go in, you're definitely hitting something back there. Alright, so we have our plywood on, it's solid. These are the studs right in here. The bracket's gonna be somewhere right around in here. So now we have all this wood surface right here to mount the bracket on. First thing I wanna do, again, bottom of the TV, we want 7 inches up. That's the bottom of where we're gonna mount that bracket. We'll just throw a level line going across. That, perfect. So 36 5/8 was our center mark. So what I'm gonna do now, put the bracket on, line it up with that bottom line, throw your little level on there, make sure it's good. And then what you want to do is trace out the ends slots right here, so you know exactly where to put the lags. So I mentioned this in a previous video, but just in case you haven't seen it, I will run by it again. When you're picking out a drill bit to pre-drill either your lag or your screw, the drill bit has to be the same size as the core of the lag or screw. So I know it's hard to tell from the video, but this drill bit is the same size as the center, so you see the thread sticking out. That means it's the right bit for the job. So after you pre-drill and you drive that lag or screw in, the threads are gonna be able to bite down on the wood and actually have a good hold. All right, so now we have our marks on the plywood and we just have to pre-drill for the lags. All right, so I just get one lag in at a time and don't tighten it all the way down. What we want to do is throw our level on, because there is some slight adjustment that you can do. We're gonna line it up right in the center there. All right, right there is perfect. So now I'm gonna start driving each one in tight. Alright, so last step is to actually hang the TV. Just a side note, when you normally do the plywood, I recommend you paint the plywood the same color as the wall. It doesn't matter that much. I mean, I know it's behind the TV, but it's just, you know, it just looks a little nicer. So, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna leave it alone and we're gonna hang the TV and that's it. We are all set. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you liked it, just hit the subscribe button and I will see you next time.